Hey guys, welcome to the Unfiltered Convos podcast. We're your hosts, Linda
and Gina. Let's go ahead and address the big elephant in the room and talk about why we are Linda and Gina, and maybe we should let them know what our real names are.
Yes. So my name's Jessica, but I go by Linda.
And I'm Leslie, aka Gina. And we're sisters.
We're sisters, not twin sisters.
We're not twins. We've been getting called twins lately for some reason, but we're not twins.
Not twins.
Can you guys guess who the older sister is?
Maybe zoom in, see if you guys can see any wrinkles. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn,
I don't know why that was like. I don't know why there's like a 6-year gap. I don't know. I thought you
I really feel that,
but I think I don't know.
Well, think about it. Chella to me is 10 years younger. Why would I be 6 to you?
I don't know. It's just you seem a lot younger than what you really are.
Are you calling me immature?
No, not like immature. You're very, very. You've always been very mature. Always very mature. But
I think just because to you in your eyes, I'm your little sister.
Little sister.
Because we have a brother in between us, so to her, it's like I'm not just her little sister, but I'm her little sister.
And then the other one is like my little sister. But we should tell the story on how Linda and Gina came about. Why did you start calling me Linda?
Well, I think it kind of goes with your story.
Since mine started first.
Yeah.
So this was back in 15, 16.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just started calling everybody or saying, damn, Gina. And then with Leslie, it just stuck. I'm like, damn, Gina, look at that ass. So I would just call everyone, but it just stuck with her, and then she was just Gina.
Okay, so one time we went to California, and she was calling me Gina. We were drunk. We were at
our Santa Monica Pier.
Was it at the Santa Monica Pier when it started?
Well, or no, I think it was before.
It was at the house.
Yeah.
And at the time, you guys remember that little kid that was like, Linda, listen, Linda. And so this girl was really drunk, and I was trying to get her to listen to me. So I just started to say, Linda, listen, Linda. And that is where Linda came about. And then we went to the Santa Monica Pier during that trip, and we have a picture I will insert so you guys can see. At the time, she had red hair.
Oh, yeah.
We had them put Linda and Gina.
And then I even have her as my phone. She is Leslie, Gina.
Yeah.
And then that picture, she decided to chop off her hair one time, super short, and I thought she looked like that. What's her name?
I don't know idea.
The girl from the Incredibles. That one. And that picture has stuck.
And I have her as Jessica Linda. I actually took that picture of her. So. But, yeah, that is where Linda and Gina came about, and we decided to add it to the podcast. This podcast, as you guys know, it's Unfiltered Convos. So it's very
we want to hear when you got when you're mad, you're sad. We want to hear those proud, successful stories, but we also want to hear how you got there. The struggle.
Yeah.
We want to hear when you've been on the low, when you've been at your dark place, when you've been
at your happiest.
At the happiest, your lowest lows, your highest highs. We want to hear it all. We're here for it. We want to give you that space.
All while we're sharing our stories. Because just like you guys have had your struggles, we very much have too. So, welcome to Unfiltered Convos!
Our first episode!
We're just gonna
go in and talk about our family. Oh yeah, introduce ourselves and talk about our family. How many of us are there? I say it like there's so many of us.
It feels like it though.
It does, especially when we're all together.
Yeah.
A lot of people. But I'm the oldest.
And then we have our brother, like we said. And then there's me and our little sister. And then we have...
But yeah.
Okay.
But back in the day, obviously they didn't believe in, there was no TV actually. So it's me, and then 9 months later, no. A year and 9 months? No.
Well, yeah.
No, it is 9 months. Because I'm 92, giving out my age.
And he's
93.
93. And then I'm 95.
So it's there's a really close gap. I mean, there's no gap.
Literally.
They waited, like, they did not, yeah.
But after me, they did wait 10 years before they had another one. And not only 10 years, but it was exactly 10 years. Like, my little sister is born on my birthday. Speaking of my little sister, that's another thing that I feel like we need to address. We are sisters. Like, we're full-blooded sisters. We have the same parents.
Like, the first four were all from
the same
mom and dad. Yeah.
And then the little one, he's half brother from our dad's side.
Yeah.
But we tend to say my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister.
I think when we say my mom or my dad, like, just in a normal conversation, we're just doing it because out of a habit.
Yeah.
But I think when we're, like, frustrated with one of the siblings or one of the parents, we're like, your mom.
Your mom pissed me off today.
Your mom pissed me off. Or, yeah.
Your sister,
your brother.
Like, when we don't want to claim them as ours because they pissed us off, they're yours.
And then, so there's 4 full blood, then the half brother. And then our parents had us super freaking young. My mom was 15 and my dad was 16 when they had me. So by the time they were 21, they had all 3 damn kids. Imagine being 21 and having 3 kids.
I mean,
I was out partying it up.
I had 1 kid at 21, but he was 3, and it was just 1.
I did not have no kids. I was just single, living it up, partying it up at 21. I could not imagine having 3 kids.
No, I can't either. I mean, 1 was hard for me.
Yeah.
Well,
1, yeah.
But then when we talk about it, it's like we understand why my mom was a little bit crazy. At least I do, you know?
I mean, I get it. I only have 1, and sometimes I'm like, have you seen that when Adam Sandler was like, he's like, you know what you're talking about? No? Never mind. Jacob. It's a meme. I forgot, like, stop talking,
or is this off a movie or something?
Yeah, the movie Big Daddy.
Oh.
It's also like a meme that's going around TikTok. It's been a while now.
I have no idea.
Go on TikTok. This one.
Oh, yeah.
Mama.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's literally... that was my mom.
When Adam Sandler goes... like, I get it. I only have 1. I don't know how multiples do it.
I mean...
Moms with multiples do it.
No, literally, there's some times where I'm just like, bro, just shut up. Like, I just want to say that, but I don't because...
I know.
But sometimes I'm like, I just want peace and quiet.
I just want to shit in peace.
Oh my gosh, literally that part. Because I haven't shit in peace in 11 years.
I think I get a little bit more than you because he goes with his dad, but damn.
These kids.
These kids got me so... I'm just kidding.
So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Since you're older, you can start.
Okay. So, Jessica, Linda. I am 32. I was born in California, but my parents brought us here when I was 3. So, born in California, but raised here. I don't remember much of California, but I still claim it.
Me too.
I don't want to claim Utah.
Me too.
No. But yeah, raised here as well.
And I am 28. Oh shit, I'm not 28
anymore.
You're 29. I am 29. Oh damn, I forgot.
I see my hair. I'm just kidding.
I actually do have some. So. I'm 29 and I was also born in California, but when my parents came here, I was only 3 months old, but I still claim California loud and proud. And I have 2 children. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I have 1. I didn't know we talk about our kids, but yeah, I have 1.
I was also a teen mom, like our parents were. I had my firstborn at 18. He was born on my 18th birthday, but we can talk about that another episode. And I have a 5-year-old. Now that we have officially introduced ourselves, we want to talk about why we wanted to start this podcast.
We want to be able to hear everyone's stories. We want to hear your lowest lows, your highest highs, like the in between. We want to hear it all. And also like share our stories, because just like you guys, we've had our lowest lows, our highest highs, and then in between figuring it all out. So we just want to create that space where it's like, let's just come, have a sip of coffee. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but Dutch Bros for real sponsored me, because your girl be in your drive-through at least 5 times a week.
So we want to, so have some coffee, sip, chat about just life experiences and where you're at now, where you want to go. Yeah, that's what we really want to do with the podcast, and that's why we decided to just start one and see where this goes.
Let's see where this goes. But speaking of where we want to go, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years?
Yeah, just like in general, like your entire life.
Okay, so in 5 years, okay, I'm 32. So I want to get married. I want to have another baby. And I want this podcast to grow. So in 5 years, I'm putting it out there, our podcast is going to be big. I'm going to be married and I'm going to have a baby. That's where I see myself in 5 years. And I'm going to have my own house.
Yeah, that was like one of the first things that came.
And a hot daddy.
A hot daddy. Not just a hot daddy, but a hot Dodger daddy.
A hot Dodger daddy.
Jessica's always talking about the hot Dodger daddies. That's why I said that.
I swear, I literally just want to go to LA to see a Dodger game, but not so much for the game, but
to see the hot Dodger daddies.
To see the hot Dodger daddies that I've seen all over TikTok.
Yesterday, she asked me and my brother, she was like, have you guys seen the hot Dodger daddies? And then no, I think he said, what do you picture when you see a Dodger like fan?
Oh, yeah.
And then our brother was like, a fat man or something like that. And I told her, I was like, actually, yeah, me too. I don't picture hot Dodger daddies.
No, you guys are not, I don't know where you guys are looking at.
We're on the wrong side of TikTok.
Yes, definitely the wrong side of the TikTok. Come, I'll show you guys a good life.
She's like, so let me send you my algorithm.
No, but that's what I see. And then with like the podcast, it's gonna grow. I want us to have all these different guests, to be able to collab with other podcasters, YouTubers, like honestly everybody and anyone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I see this.
Like your life.
Yeah.
Well, me personally, I see myself being a content creator. TikTok, YouTube, and for sure, of course, this podcast, I want it to succeed. I see myself having my own house. Do you actually have like a specific area where you want, like, you picture where you
living?
Yeah.
Like, not here in Utah.
Oh, really? Not in Utah?
I don't see myself like...
I mean, but let's be realistic, because you have a kid and you're not with a dad. Like, do you really in 5 years think...
So in 5 years, no, I don't see myself leaving Utah.
Yeah.
But here in Utah, where do I see myself?
Yeah.
Honestly, I've always liked West Jordan, South Jordan.
Oh, really? I actually don't like this.
Magna, too.
I love Magna.
Like, I see I don't know if I'd go down.
I see myself either Magna for sure. I don't see South. I don't know what it is about the South side, but I just don't like it. I just don't fit in. I'm too kiddo for that.
and it has to be border South Jordan. Like, it can't be
too South Jordan.
Yeah, because exactly, we don't fit in there.
Yeah. Well, another place that I see myself, and I think it's probably because I'm like part hippie. I'm just kidding.
Part hippie.
It's like Sugar House.
Oh, yeah.
Pleasant Grove area.
Yeah. Sugar House, like in the east and the avenues. Okay, yeah.
Like, I just feel like I fit in. Like, every time I'm there, I'm like, oh, this feels so like me.
Yeah.
But also downtown Salt Lake City.
Honestly, if I didn't have a kid, I would do downtown.
Really? I feel like it's fine.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that gives me more like single.
It gives,
like single air, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. But I don't know. That's just, so any of those areas in 5 years, you will see me living there.
Practice in Magna. I'm just kidding.
Literally, Magna's for sure one of my top 2, I would say.
Yeah.
And then I see myself, honestly, I really don't think about this a lot. And I know that's probably not a good thing that I don't, but I haven't looked that far into my future. I for sure, no more babies. I'm done. Like, that's, in 5 years, I'll have a 21-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Wait,
Jordan. Or 5 years. I added 10 years.
Oh, okay. I was like, no.
So I'll have a 16-year-old and a 10-year-old. Y'all, that's crazy.
That's wild. You'll be driving.
You'll be driving. For sure, new car.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing for me is my career. I think I have been such a mom for so long. Like I said, I've been a mom for 11 years now that I haven't really built my career, I guess you can say. So I think the next 5 years, that's what I want to focus on, is my career and me as an individual, because I just got you.
I feel like you lose yourself.
You lose yourself, and I lost my, it's been so much longer for me that I'm like, I haven't really quite found myself yet.
And then I feel like it's different because I do co-parent, so I do have more time alone and get time to just do what I want. Where I feel like maybe within like, I think when like the first 2-3 years, I did kind of lose myself and I wasn't sure. Like I was just so unhappy. Mm-hmm. And I think like he's 6 now, so like the last 3 years, it's been like trying to figure out what I like, and it's been easier for me. But because I share him, mm-hmm. and you don't, you have your kids all the time. Yeah,
literally. So yeah, I think that's my main. I've become very selfish in the last like few months, and I've felt it. I really have, because I really have just been putting myself first, even with my kids. Like, I know that sounds kind of messed up, but mm-hmm. I feel like it's my time now.
I think it's selfish.
Luna's 5 now, where I'm like, okay, she's more independent. You know, her brother can help me out with her now, and so I think it's my time.
Yeah, it's your time to shine.
Have you heard that saying where it's like, GPS said it's my turn?
It is. Yeah. No. You do get lost, and I think moms, it's not selfish to put yourself first. Mm-hmm. When you are a mom, because you have to put yourself first. Have you seen that? I forgot what her name is, but she said the number one leading cause of like happy kids is happy moms. Oh. It's like if their mom is happy, they tend to grow up being happy. Yeah.
I mean, let's be real, it shows.
It does show.
Because with not trying to throw my mom under the bus, but mm-hmm. she was so miserable in her marriage, and it reflects because
on us.
It does.
And we've had to do so much freaking work to like learn those negative habits, or mm-hmm. just like relearn everything you were taught. Retrain your brain. Yeah, retrain your brain. Even now, it's still like it's a
work in progress every freaking day.
It is. Yeah. But I think we have definitely come so far. But then when we see our kids,
yeah,
I feel like they're not scared to say what they feel. They're not scared.
Let me tell you this story. What happened to me yesterday? Okay, so it was Halloween, right, on Thursday, and Jordan, a long time ago, was like, I don't want to go to school the day after Halloween. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I was going to let him stay home. But then his favorite teacher is leaving school now because he's sick, and Friday's his last day. He's like, I'm going to school now. I was like, okay, cool. Go to school. Tell me why this kid calls me right after he's done with this teacher's class. He's like,
go pick him up. Oh, hell no.
He was like, I saw it said his school name, and I was like, why are they calling me? And I answered. He's like, okay, I'm done with his class. You can come pick me up now. I was like, oh, hell.
And our mom?
I was with my mom when he called. And then I told him, I was like, no, sir, I am not going out of my way now just to go pick you up. This is inconvenient for me now. You chose to go to school. Now you stay till the end. And he was like, okay. But I wasn't like rude about it, you know?
Yeah.
And when I hung up, I told my mom, and she was like, what the? Like, I'm like, yeah, I know, that wouldn't have fight with you.
No,
like,
no, we would have not even called.
That's what I'm saying. We're like, we wouldn't have even thought to call our parents.
I knew I would have gotten shut down so quick. I would have not even bothered.
No. And so the fact that he had the balls to call me shows our growth as parents. I mean, breaking the cycle.
Breaking that generational curse. And, like, sometimes I've, like, even noticed, like, or when you told me with Jordan, when he's like, you're being rude or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or like my son tells me that too, when I raise my voice, or sometimes I know when he's just doing it to get what he wants. And then I've learned to the two. Mm-hmm. But sometimes maybe I do get frustrated and I raise my voice and he's like, Mom, you're being rude. And I'm like,
You're right.
I am very rude.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I should not be raising my voice at you. But sometimes he says that to get his way. So I've learned to just like, all right, I'm gonna ignore this one, but
This
all
one
right,
I
this one
actually
I will
agree with you.
listen to you here. Yeah.
Yeah. I
With us, it was not like that at all.
No, it was do as I say.
Yeah.
Basically, like
And it's we can't ask why. It's do it because I said so and I'm a parent.
because and sometimes I tried doing that to Jordan, like because I said so, and he's like, "But why?" I'm like, "Because I'm your mother, and I don't need to give you explanations." But I do think that they deserve an explanation.
Yeah, they do. Have you heard of that? The living room child.
No.
Do you know what that means? I've seen it all over TikTok, where it's like a living room child is a child. I don't know exactly what the explanation is, but it's like it's along the lines like a living room child is a child that feels comfortable playing all over their house, like in the living room, rather than when we were younger. The only safe place that we had was our room. Our kids, I feel like, are living room kids because they have their shit all over and they feel comfortable playing all over, not just like our safe place was our room.
My kids' safe place is next to me. Like they don't even play in the room. The only time my kids are in the room is when they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Other than that, they are in the living room or the kitchen, like right next to me.
Yeah.
Like that's
Well, we're out here trying to break generational curses.
It's a work in progress every day, and
no one's perfect. We're trying.
And welcome to Unfiltered Convos podcast. With that being said, we're going to share a story. Is it a story? I guess experience in our life that was hard for us because, like we mentioned, this is a podcast where we wanted to do that.
Be real, be vulnerable, be honest. We want to share with you guys because I know we're not the only ones that have been through this. And like, how did you guys navigate what we're about to talk about?
Yeah, so our parents divorced when I was 18. And I was 14. Mm-hmm. Wait, how does that? Oh, no, yeah, that's right.
I was 18. Marvin was like, he was still 16 because his birthday's at the end of the year.
And I was about to turn 15. So it was like close to 15 because it was around my quinceañera. Like I was going to have my quinceañera. So our parents told us like months before my quinceañera. And they told us that after my quince is when they were going to tell it to like the world that they're divorcing. So my quinceañera was all fake.
We had to put a happy face, a big smile, because behind closed doors, they had already told us. Parents weren't even living together anymore.
So speaking of our parents not living in the same house, so my dad had moved out and he had his own apartment. And the night before?
It was the night before. Was it? Or
yeah,
the day
because
before?
he slept there.
It was the night before.
Or they slept there. Yeah.
It was like, didn't they get kicked out or something?
Yeah. Okay, so Jessica had a boyfriend at the time, and I was with my son's dad. And I actually didn't know that they were sleeping there.
Because I gave them the key.
Okay, so that, the morning of my quince, our dad didn't tell us that he was going to go check on the apartment, or he forgot something.
So he was living out already. He wasn't living with us anymore. He left the house with my mom and then us, and he already had his own apartment. But he was staying at our house because family was coming in from out of town. So he was staying at the house with us because they're still together. But the day before, I don't know why. Did they get kicked out? Or they were just like, it wasn't in the middle, or they were like couch, like, what is it, couch?
Wait, they didn't have, okay, yeah. Yeah, they had nowhere, they were basically homeless.
Yeah. So a boyfriend at the time I had, they had nowhere to go. So I made a copy I stole my dad's apartment key from, I'm so bad. I stole his key to the apartment and went to Walmart to make a copy of it and gave it to them so they can go sleep in his apartment because I knew my dad wasn't staying there. He hadn't been staying there that whole week.
Yeah, because the family from Mexico was already here, and so we were pretending to be a
family. And so I gave them the key so they can stay there because they were basically homeless, and then they stayed there. But I guess my dad, the morning of the quinceañera, went to the apartment to grab something. I don't know what he needed to fucking grab, and found them in the fucking apartment.
But it wasn't the first time, because there was one time where, remember, he locked the door and ran out like the balcony? That one was just your boyfriend at the time.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. And my dad talks about it all the time because he had to go to the office and be like, oh, I don't know what happened to, like, I locked myself out or something. I don't remember, but
Oh my god, I'm so bad.
that time was just your boyfriend, but yeah, I just remember I was getting my hair done for my quince, and my mom was like, "Tu papá encontró a
So
yeah at the apartment," and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was so.
did you not know?
I don't think so, because I was so mad that day, because then it ruined my dad's mood. My dad was pissed off, and he didn't want to ruin my day, so he didn't say anything to me, but I could just see it that he was mad, and I was like,
Oh, I got the call. My dad called me fucking pissed. He's like, why are they here? This and this. And then he was pissed. And then I remember we were at the house getting ready. He comes to the house and takes me. We drive. I'm like, oh my god, I'm about to get my ass beat.
Oh.
He take me. We go to the Taylorsville Park, and he's like, what happened? And honestly, you know my dad. He's so scary. I thought I was gonna fucking get my ass beat. So no, he actually took me and he sat well, we were in the car, and he actually talked to me. He's like, what happened? And then I told him. I started crying. Well, not so much because of what, like, them. I think it's just because of the whole everything that's been going on. And I told him, I was like, well, they didn't have anywhere else to go. I made a copy of the key.
Oh my gosh, you're so bad.
And I gave it to them, but like that's what it was. He's like, don't ever do that shit again. Like, you should have told me. But at that time, like, it was just so hard to talk to our parents.
That part, but also you were just so love is blind.
Like, love is so blind. Yeah, you do stupid shit.
Yeah. I personally would have never done that, but
I'm definitely way more ballsy than my siblings.
Yeah, she was more the trouble child.
Yeah, I definitely test people out, but how far can I push you?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I pissed my parents off, mainly my dad. But then, then we continued on with the day of your quinceañera, and I felt like I was going through your pictures like not too long ago, and all of our pictures look so sad.
I can't watch that video without crying.
Yeah,
all those emotions come back.
What you were feeling that day, yeah, it was just so sad. And we continued with the quinceañera with your party. It wasn't even like, obviously, like, didn't they all go to Vegas? Because I feel like they do that all the time.
Oh yeah,
because they did that for my quince, and then they went to, like, the family from Mexico came, and then they all went to Vegas. So it was, again, pretending to be a happy family for, like, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And then once they left, I don't even remember how long after.
It didn't, no, literally that, like, they left, and then my dad went back to his apartment.
No, but, like, when did they tell everybody?
Oh. Well, let's see, my quince was in September. By the holidays, everybody already knew. So, I want to say within, like, a couple weeks.
Yeah, that was so... Honestly, I don't really remember exactly everyone's reaction to, like, their divorce.
No.
I think I remember, like, a year later.
Like a year after.
Like a year
I remember,
after, yeah.
So, like, shortly after that had happened, my tío broke. Remember when he broke his...
Yeah.
So I went to the hospital with my dad to go visit. So a lot of family was visiting my tío at the time. And me and my dad were going up the elevator, and he was crying and talking about the divorce and blah, blah, blah. And then we happened to run into my tía's sister on the way. And my dad felt so embarrassed because she caught him crying. Because my dad was
crying.
Yeah, my dad was trying to, like, wipe his tears off before we went in the room. But, like, she caught him, and she's like, oh, Martin. And I was just like, oh. It was so uncomfortable. But we got to, like, witness both of our parents cry a lot and tell us things that I don't think we should have heard.
Yeah, I feel like as parents, even as moms now, as much as, like, I feel like you want to tell your kids something, or everything, I think to protect their innocent souls, mind, there's just some things that you should just take to the grave. And I know that they want an explanation to why this is going on, or why this, but I feel like there's just some things that you just, to protect your own kid, that you just need to take to the grave. And I feel like I don't want to, like, shame anybody. I feel like because of how a lot of things went down with, like, some certain family members, I do see why our parent told us why, the real reason they were divorced.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard.
It's hard. But as a woman, I understand.
Yeah.
But as a mom, I'm like, I wish you would have not told us that. Like, it's so hard when I don't know. I've never been through a divorce. Well, I'm not with his father, but he was still so little. And I feel like now he asks questions, but I still like I'm not going to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
And even when he is of age, I don't know how much I'm going to tell him. Do I want to fucking tell him everything? Yes, I do. I do. But I feel like just to protect him and his relationship with his dad, I'd rather just take it to the grave.
Yeah.
You just like, there's just like certain things that, I don't know. But yeah, divorce was so hard. And then I felt like instead of us coming together, we all went our own ways. Like we all handled it so differently. And we kind of just like all distanced each other. Yeah. And for a very long time, I feel like it was a very long time.
Our parents, after the divorce, they both turned to partying and drinking. Mm-hmm. And at the time, our little sister was only 4 years old. 5. She was 5. And she became my responsibility at that point. So at 15 years old, I basically became a mother to a 5-year-old. And then Jessica was basically doing her own thing too. And it was just like me, my brother, and our little sister. Like it was our little circle. Like we stayed together. I don't know, maybe it's because me and Marvin, we continue to go to school together. Like we were still in high school, and me and him had to drive to school together every day. And we did everything together. And on top of that, we took on our little sister. So maybe that's why we were closer. And then you were already...
I had already graduated. Yeah, I already had graduated, and I was just doing my own thing. And yeah.
You also were turned to... Well, because you were already doing it, but I think you just got deeper
into it. Yeah. Well, honestly, I feel like our parents, like, they let us do whatever we wanted.
At the time.
When they separated.
Yeah.
When they separated, they kind of just like, oh, well, like, you guys, like... figure it out.
Yeah, no, literally, because I remember nobody was cooking for us. No. Nobody, like, we were eating, like, Hot Pocket, like, frozen food. And I remember it was so bad that I would get really bad stomach aches. I always felt sick because I was just eating frozen food all the freaking time.
So we were basically already doing, well, I was maybe more heavier on it, doing whatever I wanted, like, partying, drinking, doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. And then once, like, the official divorce, it just went more and more. It spiraled out of control, and then the drinking and all that stuff just got out of hand. I think I didn't see it as, like, I'm numbing my feelings. It was more just, like, I wanted to party. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm out of it, I definitely was numbing my feelings. Mm-hmm. I definitely was drinking my feelings away, doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. Mm-hmm. Just trying to hide my feelings, take my feelings away. But yeah, at that time I was like, no, we're just having a good time. We're just partying. We're just having a couple drinks with our friends or with our family or with our cousins or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And I think with me, so my parents divorced, so October, September is when they told the family. Mm-hmm. November, by Thanksgiving, I was pregnant. I was 15 years old and I was pregnant. And so... that's kind of where my partying had to stop because I got pregnant. But then I ended up having a miscarriage. And then after that, I just felt so empty. I'm not the type of person to, like...
drink your feelings away.
Not even drink, but, like, at the time, I mean, you know, I like to do the other stuff. The
green stuff.
Even then, I stopped doing that. After I had the miscarriage, obviously, because while I was pregnant, I didn't do it. But even after I had the miscarriage... I didn't do it because I feel like I'm hiding my feelings by doing that. So whenever I felt really sad, I just wouldn't do it because I'm like, I need to feel this. And I've always been that kind of person.
She has always been that way.
Like, I've always been really in tune with my emotions. Mm-hmm. I don't like to hide them or cover them up with anything. So I think that it's just our personalities. We're just so different in that way. But like I said, after that, I just felt so empty because I lost a baby all while my parents were going through a divorce. And there's just so much I want to say about the divorce, but at the same time, I don't want to because I don't want to make my parents seem like they were bad parents because I now realize that, one, they were hurting. two, nobody was guiding them, just like nobody guides you through in this world. And they, in their mind, probably thought they were doing the best they could.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, with their permission, I could speak about it. But yeah. Sorry, what
but I was just gonna say, like, the whole, when you're saying, like, my parents weren't bad parents. No. Or was our childhood, like, I think more of our trauma is more, like, emotional. Mm-hmm. I don't think our parents were emotionally there for us, but we were never, like, or when I said, like, I was gonna get my ass beat, my dad would, like, he used the belt as a disciplinary, but it wasn't like he would just come home angry and beat us up. Oh, it was never that.
If you got your ass whooping, it's because you
deserved you did something to freaking get an ass whooping. Mm-hmm. But it was never like physical abuse. I think we had a really good childhood.
Yeah, we were never short of anything.
No, we got, my parents, like, they wanted to give us what they never had, and they really did.
Extra, yeah.
They did.
They actually created really spoiled kids. Mm-hmm. Like, I will admit, I was a spoiled brat back then.
Yeah, same. So they gave us a really, really good childhood, and just, like, I think more, just like I was saying, more emotional trauma, because it's like they were emotionally there.
They were emotionally there for us ever, like, in our childhood, but also, like, once they divorced, it got even worse. And also, they were still so young. They were only 36 when they divorced. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I'm only 6 years away from being at that age. And I'm like, what the fuck? They were so young. And at the time, I thought they were so old.
Yeah, and then it's just like they go from, like, having babies so young to getting married to having houses and then to having more freaking kids. And then all of a sudden, you're going to get divorced. And they're the only people, like, they were all they knew from when they were babies.
Yeah.
So 19 years together, that's hard. And then you build this whole life with these kids, and then like, I don't even know, like, what I went through with my situation was hard. And that wasn't even like years in like that.
Yeah.
That was hard for me. I cannot even imagine going through 19 years of marriage, building a whole life together, thinking you're going to spend your whole life with this person, watching your kids grow up, watching your grandbabies grow up, to now nothing. Like, all of that is all gone. Everything's gone.
Yeah.
So what we're thankful for is, like both of our parents are still there for us. Like, they're still here. We, like, still talk to our mom and our dad.
Yeah.
So there's still that, because I do hear a lot of stories where dads just, like, up and leave after a divorce, and our dad hasn't.
Well, one thing I do remember too vividly after the divorce is we didn't go with our mom. We always stayed with our dad, aside from the one time when he had his apartment. But after that lease was up, he was like, I'm not paying, because he was paying for the mortgage and his apartment. And he was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So then he came back to our house, and then my mom left. And my mom, she was a stay-at-home mom throughout the whole time that we were kids, up until the divorce. So she had to start from the bottom up, and she was working, like, minimum wage jobs, and she didn't really have a lot of money to go off of. She would stay at some ghetto places. Like, I remember,
like, she didn't have anything to offer us.
No.
Like, my dad was the only one that was able to.
Yeah, like, I remember this one specific place. Remember when she lived at somebody's basement? She wanted us to sleep over because obviously we were still her kids, and we did. But all of us had to sleep on the floor. I don't think you were.
No, like, I don't think I ever slept there, but I do remember going.
Yeah, it was me, Marvin, and Chella. But me, Marvin, and Chella had to sleep on the floor, and it was so freaking cold. Like, I couldn't sleep that night because it was so cold. Like, I remember just laying there, like, crying, like, I can't believe it. This is my life. Like, oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional thinking about it. And then also at the same time feeling bad that my mom had to stay there. You know what I mean? But honestly, that's one thing that I do give to my mom, is she's come a long fucking way after the divorce. Like,
they both have come a long way. Even, like, emotionally, I feel like before I was so scared of my dad.
Yeah.
So scared of my dad. And now I feel like all of us have different relationship with our parents, but I can call my dad and I talk to him about guys. Like, he gives me advice about guys. I talk to him about, a lot of personal stuff. When before, I could never, ever, ever talk to my dad. So it's like, it was so sad that what we've gone through, and it's like, it's a bittersweet situation.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I would not want my parents back together.
No.
They are so different, and yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy them separated because they're so different.
Yeah, they are
completely different, and they've also opened up. Like they're very, to some things, open-minded now.
Oh yeah,
more modern. And I feel like back then they were just your very traditional Mexican parents, and now they're not. But with some things.
Yeah, with
some things. But the majority of the stuff, like, they're very open-minded. But yeah, it was hard. Divorce was so hard. Well, when we ever get permission from our parents, we would love to go more into detail, at least with, like, their side of the story. But
well, I don't know, not just that. I feel like there's certain things that was my experience, and it happened to me because of that situation, that I'm like, I just want to talk about it, but I know that it'll make them look bad, and that's why I don't, out of respect for them. But I hope that they allow me to talk about it one day.
Yeah, because I mean, we're not the only kids that have gone through divorce, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate, and I'm sure you guys could relate on, like, you still wanting to open up, but at the same time not wanting to make your parents look bad. Yeah. Because everybody's freaking trying here. Nobody gives us a handbook on how to do life. But yeah, maybe one day we'll share all that. Yeah. But with that being said,
we're gonna just play a game called Hot Takes. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I've seen it on a lot of, like, famous people show. I think Wendy Williams used to do it. But basically what it is we're gonna share controversials, okay, or bold opinions known as hot takes, then discuss them and defend them. This game encourages passionate conversations and might even spark a friendly debate. But we're not going to get that controversial because we just started and we don't want to, like, get there. Heated. No, I'm just kidding. Well, not just that, but we don't want to get canceled on the first episode. Oh, yeah, that's true. So we're just going to do, by the way, we're using ChatGPT, not sponsored, but also should sponsor me because I use them a lot. We're going to just go off of what they've said. So the first one is going to be, pineapples belong on pizza.
I'm down.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't.
What?
No.
Okay, well, what about pineapple on the bread that my mom made last night?
But you couldn't taste the pineapple.
But you didn't. I
didn't take a bite. I left it out on purpose.
Oh, I did. I took it and I was like, oh, okay, this isn't bad.
No, I didn't eat it.
I like it. I enjoyed it.
I mean, pineapple is sweet, so I can see why, but I'm not pizza. No. I just like. Oh, I'm just a pepperoni girl.
I mean, I love, whenever I order pizza, it's pepperoni for sure. But I mean, I wouldn't turn down a pineapple. What is it, Hawaiian?
Yeah,
I wouldn't turn down a Hawaiian pizza.
Whenever we get it's been a long time, but whenever people do order it, I always take the pineapple out.
Really?
Yeah. But even then, I can still taste it.
But you've always been, like,
picky?
A little more picky. You're not that picky, but you've been more of a picky eater.
Yeah.
She doesn't like pozole, guys. Oh, wait, no. Is it pozole?
Yeah, it's pozole. I don't know. It's just...
Or sour cream.
Yeah, sour cream? No.
What is the other one you don't like? Well, do you like menudo, right?
I don't like the texture, but I like the taste.
I think it's just more of the pineapple has a texture.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
So I think it's the texture thing for you. Sour cream doesn't have a texture.
It tastes gross, though. I do not like sour cream.
Or she doesn't like seafood either, guys. I think we need to have, like...
An intervention.
An intervention or episode of...
Well, like Leslie doesn't eat.
No. Like, the best chefs in Utah cook up some, like, camarones.
Oh, my
And then you gotta try it. Because maybe that's just what it is. They don't know how to make it good.
I've tried.
And, like, the taste, I don't know.
I've tried. And I tell people all the time, like, when I see people eating shrimp, it looks so good. Like, it literally looks good. Not only how it looks, but, like, the way people enjoy it. So I'm like, good. I wish I could have that feeling. Like, I don't know, but...
Okay, guys, our goal needs to be that we need to get Leslie to like seafood by, like, our 10th episode.
Oh, my gosh. So if there's any chefs out there that would like to cook for us that specializes in camarones,
DM us.
But fish, I don't know if I could do fish. That's too much for me.
You think so?
Just like seeing
I
it
love
on
seafood.
the plate, it's like, I don't know.
I love seafood. And I don't know where you got that from. Like, my parents are
I
not
know.
picky at all.
No.
I want some camarones now.
Okay, so next one is streaming shows weekly is better than binge watching.
No, binge watching.
Yeah, because who has time to come back the next week?
No.
Like, I'd rather just one and done.
Because I feel like usually if I'm like, I don't have time. Yeah, no.
It's the time.
It's the
It
time.
comes down to the
Like,
time.
if I'm watching TV, it's because I have time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get everything out of the way.
Yeah.
Like,
I
boom, boom, boom,
hate
boom, boom.
waiting.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Or do you wait for like season 1, season 2, season 3? Do you wait for all seasons to come out before you
Sometimes.
watch? You do?
Sometimes.
I don't know. Like,
'Cause
I can see why people do that, but I'm like, I want to watch it. I want to watch it right now.
Yeah, no, sometimes I do that. But also me, I get bored very easily, so sometimes I don't even finish things. Which I don't know.
But you've always been like that
I
with
have always
TV.
been like that, yeah. To some people, it's like, I could never, because like I have to finish it even if it's boring. I know.
No, if I'm not into it, I just won't. Like, I'm not going to. But for the most part, I do get into what I start.
Yeah, but I've heard people say that. They're like, I don't care how boring it is, I'm finishing it. And I'm like, you're wasting your time. That's how I see it. I'm like, that's such a waste of time when you could be doing something else.
Yeah, that you actually enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay, college is overrated.
I think so.
I agree.
I feel like if you're not wanting to be like a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, like an engineer, yeah, something in like you actually need. Yeah, I don't think. Like, what do you think about business?
I think that's where life is heading. Like this.
Like, do you think you need a business degree to?
Oh, a business degree. I thought you meant like...
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, a business degree.
No, you don't need a business degree.
I feel like you're just wasting a lot, like your time and money.
Because what it really comes down to is experience. And not just experience, but like knowing the right people.
Yeah.
Because if you know the right
people...
people...
Like networking with the right people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think...
It doesn't come down to a business degree. I mean, sure, it can help and enhance, but at the same time, like... Now
I think it's just you as a person.
Yeah, it depends on you and your drive as a person. Yeah. Because once you get that business degree, now you have to go get either a job or immediately start a business because you just invested all this money in your college that you now have to pay back.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
And then like my dad and my deal never went to college and they're business owners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but my tia did, and she's kind of the one that runs it low key.
That's true. Well, regardless,
but she didn't go to college she went to like for teaching or something.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh,
she doesn't have her like business.
Or I have my tia on podcast. There's a lot I don't know about my tia.
Yeah. She's a very boss ass woman.
We need those on our pod.
Yeah.
Yeah. College is definitely overrated.
Texting is better than calling. 1000%. It depends. I agree. I mean, I think.
Yeah. I use the voice.
I know. I've noticed that you do that. I just don't like how I sound.
I use that, especially with like my friend in Texas. Like, it's just, I'm driving, voice memo it. Obviously, I'm not gonna be texting, but or like Snapchatting videos. Like me and Joss do that all the time. But like your brother.
Oh, he calls a lot. Like, sometimes I'm like, you probably could have just texted me that.
Like, I'll ask him, like, what time are you coming? And he'll call me. Yeah. And he'll say, this time, why? I'm just asking, bro. You don't need to call me.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Don't call me.
Don't call me, because I will probably send you to voicemail, and then you can text me.
Unless it's something really urgent.
No, like, if you're calling me and I can't answer, I'm going to answer. I'm not going to be rude. But
I might roll my eyes before, but just kidding.
Because I'm also the type of person where I hate calling back.
Yeah.
So, like, if I can answer the first time, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it's, like, a random number, then I'm like, no. If it's important, you'll leave me a voicemail.
For sure.
It's better to be single than in a relationship.
I agree.
I don't agree.
No? You'd rather be in a relationship, even though you're miserable?
No. I was just about to say, if you're not happy, then yes, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. But I personally, if a relationship is working, but here's the thing. relationships
so
go
much gray area, but I totally get what you're saying. Yeah.
Relationships go up and down all the time. There's not, they're not ever
100% happy all the time. No, I completely get that. If this person is adding to my, like, what am I trying to say? Like, my life, like adding to, like, my, like
they're adding value to your life.
Adding value to my life and helping me, not just adding more fucking burden to my life.
Yes.
Then yes, I do think being single is better than being in a relationship.
That I agree. Yes.
But if this person is dragging me fucking down and making me miserable and making me feel insecure, making me this, making me, like, downing myself, no, I'm not going to be it. Yeah. So yeah, I do 100% think it's better to be single than being in a relationship, even when you have kids.
Yeah. No, I agree. There comes a limit to where it's okay. Mm-hmm. And then once you reach that limit, then I'm like, okay, it is better to be single, because at this point, not only are you not adding value, but you're dragging me down with you. Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially if you have kids.
Yeah.
Like, I think
especially when all the kids fall on one person, that's when it's like, it's probably best not to be in this relationship.
Have you heard about the married single mom?
Yes, I have.
I feel like I see that a lot.
Yeah.
I see that a lot in a lot of women. Mm-hmm. Or even, like, in restaurants sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, I see that where I'm like, damn, like, that is the reason why I'd rather be single.
Yeah.
Especially, like, it's okay, I'm okay with being a single mom.
Either way.
Either way, I'm fucking doing it.
Yeah.
One less person I have to fucking cook for.
Yeah. I felt, well, I don't cook, but.
Or, like, I'm not a big cook either, but, like, that's one less person I have to worry about.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm married, or not necessarily married, but if I'm in a relationship and I'm still a single mom, move over, because I got this. I'm already doing it on my own.
Yeah, I feel that a lot. But, I don't know, but when things are good in a relationship, not even necessarily good, because like I said, all relationships go up and down, and it's just like little things. Like, I do think relationships are better because you have somebody to lean on, you have somebody to support you, you have somebody to try to lift you up when you are feeling insecure, or like when you're doubting yourself, and some people, get cooked for, and that is also a good part, but that's the thing too, that I still think we are meant to be with people. Like, I don't think single life is everything.
No. Well, and then being on the topic about being single and in relationships, like, I was talking to someone and it didn't work out, but, like, I told my mom about it, and my mom said that I was the problem. And I'm like, I don't think I'm necessarily the problem. Do I think I'm very strong? What was it? Like, strong-minded? Like, strong, opinionated? Yeah. Like, opinionated? Like, I think I've been single for so long. At this point, I really do know what I want. And in my previous relationship, I ignored a lot of red flags that I should have not ignored. That with this dating era that I'm in, it's like, if I see one red flag that I'm not okay with, I'm not going to continue it. And I think when my mom said that, I'm like, I don't know. It's different, because I feel like...
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I see both sides, because I have been in a relationship longer, but I also understand where you're coming from, because I've seen you go through it. And also, it's true though, being in a relationship and feeling single is the worst feeling ever. Yeah. Maybe my mom says that because she was like that with my dad. Like, let's be real, my dad, sure, he helped out financially, but he didn't help out with the kids. No, yeah. And so maybe, I don't know, it's hard, because also they're very old school minded, and being old
I feel like sometimes a lot of old school, like that generation, I feel like sometimes
most of the time they
settle. And I don't want to settle. I've seen relationships, like, around me where I'm like, you guys don't look like you're happy. I don't want to look like that. I'm 32 and I'm not getting any younger. I want to be 50 and be so fucking happy. And if I have a partner that he adds to it, that's what I want. Yeah. I don't want to be 50 in a miserable fucking marriage. Like, I want to be happy. Like, I am happy, but you know what I mean with, like, the marriage. Yeah. Like, I don't have time to be like ignoring fucking red flags. I don't have time to be like, oh, well, I guess he'll change. Hopefully he'll change, or I can change him. Like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah, if you're telling yourself I can change him,
no,
then just leave.
Or it's like these little bad habits, like, oh, like, I don't have time for that. I know what I want. That didn't work out. And that's fine. There's so many fucking fishes in the sea.
Yeah. No, literally. But also, we also have to understand that not everyone is perfect and everyone is going to come with baggage, especially at our age.
Oh, yeah. And I completely agree with, like, what baggage is it worth, like, carrying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it baggage, like
family or whatever? Like, or what?
Well, like, I don't want to say kids are baggage, but, like, a lot of people consider that, like, a baggage.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind dating a man that has kids. Like, that, to me, I wouldn't mind. Mm-hmm. But if you're over here, like, an alcoholic or telling me I don't have time, you need to be patient with me because I also have a kid. Mm-hmm. Or, like...
When also being the mother, like, let's be real.
It always
falls on... The kids always fall more on the mom.
Yeah.
Even if you're 50-50. Mm-hmm. I still think that the kids will always fall more on the mother.
For sure. Always. Mm-hmm. But yeah, relationships. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think we opened up a little bit today about some traumas we've gone through. We've shared experiences. So that is an introduction to what this podcast will be. And as Linda said earlier in the episode, we do plan on bringing guests on. So if you guys would like to be on our podcast, DM us on Instagram or TikTok. And don't forget to follow us. Give us a like button on YouTube if you're watching this. Share with all your friends, your family, the dogs, the tias, the abuelas, the co-workers, whoever the hell you want. Click that share button to the whole world. This is where we want you to be chismosas, okay?
Yes, we want to hear that cheese man.
And yeah, follow our Instagram, our TikTok.
Unfiltered Convos podcast.
We will add that too in the description. And as of right now, we're only going to be on Spotify and YouTube. Help us grow so we can go on more platforms. And before we end this episode officially, we want to give a big shout out to No Pasa Nada podcast because they are the reason why this video is dropping sooner than we expected. We were planning to drop this in December. But thanks to them, they pushed us, they motivated us, they inspired us. We were also on their podcast, so make sure you guys go check them out. No Pasa Nada podcast. So thank you to them. We will see you guys in our next episode. Bye!